So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. Coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. So you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. Coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. slow when I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change, slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, 'cause that's what it takes.
One of these days, I'll figure out this new restream setup. Happy Wednesday, guys, October 30th. Good evening. Let's get our guests in here. Stand by 1 second. Let's roll the intro for the Monkey Tamer. Mediocre, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, bud? How are you?
I'm doing good. We're going to chill here for maybe an hour, go over some charts, Mediocre, if you'd like.
Absolutely.
We got at least DJT, GameStop, and AMC on tap, maybe some others if folks have some questions. Let me get the chat up on the screen and pull my other chat from YouTube down where I can read it. How y'all doing tonight? Anthony, good evening. Vintage Vagabond, good evening. Manuel, Incognito, Anya, Yunhua, good evening. Dink, how you doing? Another day and the charts be moving. Yeah, it's been an interesting one today. Some things are working out like we expected. Some things are a little bit of a surprise. Let's start off talking about GameStop. And I want to play the song Mediocre that kind of kicked this whole GameStop thing off.
Yeah, the song, baby. Let's go.
And to the right, up, and to the right, up, and to the right.
Hello, millionaires. Short screenplays, my fortune flip. GameStop's journey, an epic trip. From humble roots to the moon we fly. A company's dream will amplify. Ready warriors, keyboards in hand. With their eyes on the prize, they took a stand. No one's selling, we're here to fight. How does it go? Up and to the right, up and to the right. We're in for the ride. It stops on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, molasses in sight. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. GameStop's on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, molasses in sight. Hedge funds trembling, Kenny's in shock. GameStop stock, you'll never stop. From diamond hands to rocket ships, we're not selling, already won. With every share we'll never stop. Investors say we love the stock. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. GameStop's on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right. Up and to the right. We're in for the ride. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right.
Surprise!
We're gonna win.
Surprise.
Yeah, dude, that is,
Mediocre. They say there was no catalyst that made GameStop run up the past 3 days. I disagree, Mediocre. This video dropped on Sunday. And what happened after that?
it rocketed, man. Look at it.
Exactly. I mean, my timing is impeccable. Now, Mediocre, we are now famous on GME Meltdown on Reddit.
Are we?
They posted my video. Look at this bag holders pumping GameStop. I don't think they watch my channel, Mediocre. They probably don't know that I don't own any GameStop. They probably don't know that I just swing trade GameStop. I found it humorous. That our video got cross-posted out there, but we appreciate every publicity we can get. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Let's put up the GameStop chart and talk about why I don't own it and under what circumstance I might. Let's get this screen up there. And let's see if we can get us on the screen, Mediocre. There we are. All right, so GameStop ran up in pre-market to $24.54 today after 2 days of running and then running in after hours last night. And then, Mediocre, I don't know if you can see this, it kind of trailed off during the day today.
I see that.
So let's just do a little bit of TA on this. I know you don't trade GameStop. I do. I swing trade it. And so I want to talk with you guys about what I'm looking at. Let's get rid of that. And
I mean, I would if when the premiums are nice, you know. I'm not saying that I wouldn't. I just, you know how.
yeah, you guys can see all my buys and sells on here. Buys are under the line in purple. All of my sells are above the line in orange. I've been trading this thing for 2 years. I think I had 1 quarter where I got out break even. Other than that, it's all been profitable trades. We have the supply zone up here going back to July. I drew the other one in, Mediocre, just over the past couple days. This, what I call supply zone 2, going back to this high in September, because I think it's reasonable that that is some short-term resistance. And we almost ran up to it today. Didn't quite. And what else? Bullish things on this chart. And I'm going to let you have at it here in a second, Mediocre, but I'm just going to point out a few things that jump out to me on the daily is we're now above not only this channel, the descending channel here,
Yeah,
we're above the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA.
Yeah, I see that.
But I was talking to you earlier, and you were also pointing out this resistance around 25.
Yeah, I mean it's bullish if it can hold there, and it has to stay at what's that? The 50, the yellow.
The yellow is the 50 EMA, and the dotted green line right underneath it is the 50 simple.
Yeah, so if they could stay above the 50 right there, you know, without breaking back below it, it could stay bullish, you know.
Yeah. So, and we've got 2 doji candles here. So there's a lot of indecision is what I'm seeing. The bulls are trying to run it up. The selling pressure is trying to drive it down, but we keep on ending every day flat. But we had this massive green candle, which we needed after the doji on Friday, or the tombstone on Friday. We got the bullish green candle. So that was great. And then we have 2 days of indecision. So I still can't tell you where it's going to go, but we know why At least we think we know why, right? Mediocre, why this thing started running on Monday, besides my beautiful song.
It wasn't your song, Tony?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm going with, mediocre, but
Oh
I, I didn't see too many people mentioning my song. Everyone's mentioning Ryan Cohen was at Madison Square Garden on over the weekend. I think that had something to do with it. And then we got the news that Keith Gill sold his Chewy. We got confirmation of that yesterday after the market closed. And then, of course, the assumption is he piled or has been for the last 30 days, slowly trickling that money back into GameStop. And that's what got people really excited overnight and drove the price up again today. So let's talk about what I'm waiting for. I'd like to see a clear break on volume. The volume was higher, but not like this candle. Look at this run up here, mediocre, back in September, massive volume.
yeah.
61 million. I want to see a green candle on convincing volume, first of all.
What was the volume on that candle the other day?
This was 13 million. I mean, it's better than 2 or 3 million, but it's not 60 million.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you know you have buyers fighting over the stock. I'd like to see a momentum on bigger volume, and I'd like to see a break above 25. And what do I think is going to make that happen? Keith Gill saying something. That's what I think. There's no reason for GameStop to run up other than, it's just bouncing around here happy. There's no bad news to send it skyrocketing down either. It's just normal trading to me, mediocre, with a little bit of FOMO for the past few days. So I need to see overwhelming buyer conviction push this thing over 25 for me to take a bullish momentum swing on it. What are your thoughts? Am I crazy?
No, I wouldn't say you're crazy. I mean, it's almost got up to that, supply zone up there. So we got to get back up there and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not buying it in this range. If I was looking at GameStop, I'm gonna wait.
I thought about it this morning. I'm not going to lie. I was looking at the 5-minute this morning.
Yeah.
When it was really pushed up. And, this is what you got to struggle with. I'm just sharing with you guys. As it's pushing up, my emotions were telling me right here, Tony, take some just in case. And when I get that overwhelming feeling, I know I'm not the only one. When I get that feeling, my general response trained over time is to reject that feeling.
Yeah, I mean,
and as soon as I rejected that feeling, mediocre, what happened? Boop,
yeah,
down.
I mean, look how close you are to the supply zone right there. I mean,
Right.
that's a resistance level. You're gonna hit that. It's either gonna cut through it like a knife or it's not. And I'd rather cut through it.
My plan all week was not to do anything until it went over 25. But just like you guys, I mean, I still feel emotion. I've just trained myself not to trade on emotion. And believe me, there's a lot of emotion and hype going on in GameStop right now. I've learned over the years to reject that impulse to buy on emotion. And the one time that I allowed myself to fall to that mediocre was back in 2021, that latter half of 2021. When AMC was flirting with the high short interest, and I was like, oh, let me buy a little bit, even though I knew it was very speculative. That was my 4-year reminder. Don't fucking do that shit again. If you got a plan, stick to your plan. And my plan is buy it when it's super cheap or wait till there's a confirmed run in progress. Because if I buy at 25 or 27, doesn't matter to me if it's going to run to 40, 50, or 60. But I would be pissed if I bought it 24.54 and it drops all the way back down to 20.
Yeah, because then you're stuck.
Then I'm stuck, and I don't want to be stuck.
I don't like being stuck either.
But for those of you that are speculating on it, no judgment from me. You guys do what you want. This is my show. I'm just telling you how I trade it and what I'm thinking. And that was my thoughts. I really was thinking about buying some here or buying some call options. And I just had to calm my tits, wait and see if the plan that I decided on the beginning of the week would happen or not. And that plan is I gotta see a break through this, because this is going to be resistance, or I gotta see it drop down into my last two buys were at 1934 and 1950, and then I sold as it pushed up. Go ahead, Mediocre.
Are we gonna get a Roaring Kitty tweet, Tony?
I don't know. I mean, I'd love for him to come in for the GameStop people, and because AMC's earnings next week. It'd be a great time this weekend for him to come back on board and drop some tweets, Mediocre.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Even if he doesn't say, I decided to go in and buy AMC because it's so cheap and the analysts are lying about the earnings, even if he didn't say that, if he just said, I'm back in GameStop, the meme stocks will likely run to some extent, and the basket of them, just like happened in May. So that's just, a little bit of tinfoil. I can't promise anything. I don't know what his involvement in GameStop is. He's not part of my thesis, but if I see that he's involved, I'll write it just like I wrote it here back in June. I missed the May one, but I rode up in June. Sold at 60 and sold at 43.29. Any GameStop questions? Anybody playing GameStop in the chat? Sufyan, what's up? He says, Tony, when you started your YouTube channel, you were saying you were relying on other YouTubers for TA videos on AMC and GME. Do you regret giving them too much credibility? They all left. I was just playing momentum back then, Sufyan. We certainly weren't playing the financials, if you recall. Mediocre, do you remember those days back in 2021?
Yeah.
How many times did we open up the 10Q?
I didn't.
I didn't either, because it didn't matter. The company had billions in cash, and short interest was high. Interest from the community was high. And so I wasn't as concerned about the financials. But then as time wore on, we had to start.
Yeah.
We had to start.
What was the likelihood? That's the problem. What was the likelihood? And I ask you today, I ask whoever's watching this video today, where are we today? What happened? Have we succeeded in the mission? And the answer is no. Hasn't happened yet. Whether you believe in synthetics or you don't, right? That massive run hasn't happened. Why? Ask yourself why hasn't it happened? That's all I'm saying.
Is it because there's no naked shorts, Mediocre?
I don't know why. I'm just I mean, naked shorts do exist, Tony. I mean, we all know that.
I know.
But
it's legal. You guys know naked shorting is illegal, right? It's called a market maker exemption.
Exactly. But how many are there?
That's the question that nobody can provide evidence of. But they say, some of them, not us, some of them say trillions, Mediocre.
Yeah.
I don't plan my trading around some YouTuber saying there's trillions of synthetics. That's all I'm going to say about that topic.
If they have the evidence to prove that that's going on, then share it with me. I'm happy to listen to it.
Hey, Mediocre, I bet you if AMC or GameStop start running to whatever price targets these guys are saying, I bet you we can have a chance to get on board before it gets too high.
Oh, absolutely. I guarantee.
That's all I'm going to say about that, guys. You guys can You can hold stuff for as long as you
Don't
want.
worry. I ain't
I'm,
gonna miss the boat.
I'm holding cash and my fingers hovering over the buy button if something happens. That's my plan.
I will not miss a run. You don't worry about that. If it's
MY says, how high will AMC go in the next 4 trading days? Mediocre seeing as how we don't have a lot of comments about GameStop. I make a motion that we switch over to AMC for a minute.
I second that motion.
All right. The motion is carried. All right. My thesis on AMC, as you guys know, if you're following this channel, I do own a little bit of AMC. I own far larger positions in IMAX and Marcus Corp. AMC is my little speculative play. Mediocre, the Meltdowner said I'm an AMC bag holder. Let's just clarify something. I'm not bag holding AMC. You guys famously know that I sold. You probably, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, know that I made all my money on AMC long before YouTube. Some of y'all have seen it if you ever watched the video where I posted all of my options profits. I sent the one Meltdowner 3 of 20 or so options trades that I took in June of 2021. Those 3 trades alone were over $40,000 of me selling.
That's what I mean, Tony. It's funny. Like they complain that we don't. Like I've only showed one of my trades. You know that.
Yeah,
And
I don't get into the whole show your trade dick measuring contest. It's
Yeah,
stupid.
because I'm not trying to measure dick. 'Cause
Right.
I don't care. The only time that we showed that one trade was a thank you to Brogate. That was it. But the point is, you guys, Tony or I, you don't need to see that. Like, believe me, I'm telling you, we're profitable. It's simple. But why do that? Because me winning is not going to help you win, right?
It probably will encourage the worst behavior, right? The opposite.
Exactly.
If you see the profits we're making, it's going to, if you don't have the bankroll to do that, it might lead you to make some bad decisions. And we don't want to be influencing you guys to make bad decisions shooting for the fences, because the fences don't happen that often. But what I was going to say, the difference between a channel like myself and say some of the GameStop channels, whether it's AMC or GameStop, we're not here every day telling you guys we're never going to sell. We're telling you we're going to sell.
Oh yeah.
And you should have a fucking plan. And we're also not pushing ridiculous price targets or made up catalysts or trillions of synthetics. This is not a bag holder channel.
If you see Tony's chart and you see that supply zone, I'm selling there.
So let's just get that straight for all the Meltdowners. This is not a GameStop pumping channel. We will be selling, and you can see some of my sales here. I didn't even make a profit, I don't think, on this one. I sold because I was worried about dilution in March. And then I bought back in when it dipped down here in the $2 range. I sold as it ran up to 12. I had some covered calls, so I lost my shares, but I made 1,000% as it was running, and I figured I might lose my shares at a profit, which was fine. That I sold them knowing at what price and what profit level I was willing to take. I said, but just in case it runs a little more, I'm going to add a little spice to the recipe with some long call options, which I don't do normally. I made over 1,000% on those. So, and then I waited from May till August to buy back in as it started dipping back into this demand zone. I'm a very careful swing trader of AMC. And if it pushes up into earnings or after earnings, then I will be selling again. This is a year, as I said in January, for me, my view on AMC, because of the balance sheet repair they need to do, this is a year for smart swing trading. And then we start assessing if they're going to be successful as a company into 2025 and 2026. I have no doubt that they'll be successful in the long run. long run, 2026 box office looks great. 2025 is still a little gray for me on what the box office is going to be. So I can't say yet, but there's no reason you can't be making money on AMC. And I'm not telling you to trade it. I'm just saying, if you're willing to be patient, get a good entry, and sell into run-ups, you can make money on volatile stocks.
And I'm
This
just
is
telling you, I don't hold any stocks, period. I don't care if it's SPY, NVIDIA, I don't care. That's just a style that I choose to trade. I trade differently than Tony, right? I'm just in it for moves and whatever it happens that week or whatever, I'm done. Just a different style of trading. So I don't want people to expect me to be holding a stock. Like I'm holding AMC right now, but when it hits my price target, I'm done until it comes back and I get a re-entry. That's just how I trade. Tony,
because we've been very upfront with you guys. And so has the company, by the way, for the last 4 years, that one of their primary objectives is to repair the balance sheet. We still have negative working capital. We still have more liabilities than assets. We being AMC. I don't know why I lump myself in as a we. AMC has more liabilities than assets and negative working capital. That all has to be fixed if you want this price to ever take off. And they've told you they're going to fix it. So for me, that means this is still a speculative trade until some of those things get resolved. When those things get resolved, then you're going to see the institutions come in. If they can say the balance sheets, at least, it's not upside down. And we being institutions can see that now they're going to have forward positive annual earnings. The whole equation for AMC starts changing. It's just the timeline. That's the only question. And for you, if you're watching, whether you like AMC or you don't, what is your expectation for box office? I'm very bullish on box office. So I don't think AMC is going anywhere. Yeah. But it's all about timing then for me. Timing.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the box office constantly. And wasn't IMAX earnings today, or their call today?
Yeah, they made I think 27 cents earnings per share, about 90 or 100 million in revenue. A great quarter. They forecast a 1.2 billion for next year.
Did they talk about the box office, Tony?
They are very excited for 2026, and they're predicting a slight increase for 2025. And AMC is the largest, of the chains that we're looking at. They're the largest IMAX partner. So if IMAX is bullish, I think we will hear Adam Aaron say that he's bullish on next Wednesday, a week from today.
So back here on my computer, you guys, as you can see, I got Smile 2 on there. Go watch a movie. I mean, that's how we're going to get ahead in this game.
So the question on the screen was, how high will AMC go? Was that before or after earnings? I don't know. I've told you guys for the past 2 weeks on my weekend TA updates, and that was starting right around here, around the 9th of October, as it was bottoming out in this channel. I told you that my thesis was we would creep up into earnings. And I also told you on the last 2 Sundays that we would struggle around $4.50. And that is what we have seen so far. So I'm looking here now, just recognizing I wasn't even really watching this chart today, but I see we closed over the 50 EMA today, mediocre. That's good. And we're right at the simple on the daily, the simple 50.
I like that.
So, if somebody doesn't torpedo the market Thursday or Friday, and if this momentum can continue, I feel like the analysts might be sandbagging AMC for the past couple of weeks because they wanted to buy it cheap into an earnings surprise. I sure hope I'm not wrong and embarrassed in 7 days, mediocre.
I mean, I'll be right there with you. I think we closed just over 450 Friday.
By wrong, I mean about the positive earnings. I think there's going to be a major upside surprise on Wednesday.
I mean, it depends, right? Is the market maker willing to pay the 450 call? That's the thing, right? The longer they hold it close to 450, the less valuable those 450 calls are. That's the way I look at it, guys. I'm just telling you. So there was a lot of calls at 450. The market maker is going to kill those. That's just what they do, in my opinion. And from there, we can move up, right? But to get above $5 before Friday, I don't really see that, only because there's a lot of options at $5.
On top of that, mediocre, I was watching the level 2 on AMC all day today. There were millions of sell orders sitting between 460 and 478. Millions, like 50% of the volume at the time that I was looking. It was almost impossible for AMC. In fact, I put a message in Discord middle of the day today. I was like, we're not going over where we're at. I mean, there's just too much selling pressure of people willing to sell, trying to sell at 464, 468, 472, 477, millions and millions of shares ready to be dumped. And so wasn't surprising to me what happened today. It's just too much to chew through in one day with no news. This was great fucking progress considering there was no news.
Yeah, I mean, it's been trading like dead flat, for how long? A month? It's been
going down for 6 weeks, mediocre.
No, it's been in an uptrend. I mean, look at the chart. But
I mean, I'm looking like at the beginning of September to early October, it was going down for a long time.
Yeah, it took a beating. It definitely did. And I don't know. I mean, these are just my thoughts, what I think of. I'm not saying I'm correct, but I do okay.
I still think mediocre. And to answer the question that the gentleman asked earlier, how high could it go next week into earnings? If I say a number, someone's going to want to sue me. Can I get someone in the chat to say, we understand this is not financial advice, you're just giving us your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem.
User one says, can you discuss why you'd rather invest in IMAX and I don't know what Liberty is, but Marcus Theater Corp, MCS. Those are the two other ones I own. I like the movie industry. And look, 90% of my portfolio is blue chip stocks. I talk about these meme stocks a lot because there's so much damn misinformation. People telling you it's going to $1.50. People say they're going bankrupt. People saying it's going to $1 million a share. People saying there's trillions of synthetics. I talk about them because all the misinformation pisses me off on both sides. But I enjoy trading the movie stocks because, like I said, what other industry can you get daily updates on what revenue expectations are by looking at the box office? Not that many. So I bought IMAX and Marcus because of profitability. And I'm up, I don't know, somewhere between 30 and 42% on both of those. So AMC I like for the speculative nature. And I think that over time, once they fix the balance sheet and box office grows enough, you're going to see, you're not mediocre. Keep me out of trouble here. You may see a price far higher than the current price. I got to watch what I say because people can't use their own heads anymore. I don't know what the box office is going to be in 2026, but we can see what the professionals in the industry are predicting, and AMC would be profitable at that level. So If all that happens, if.
I mean, we're still trying to figure out Q1, right, Tony?
Yes. I was talking about that on the IMAX live stream. Like, I'm still trying to figure out Q1 2025. Like, please don't hold me accountable for my opinion about 2026. But I have taken some numbers of what the experts are saying, and I've already plugged them in my spreadsheet for 2026. And I know what the profitability is going to be. And I'm not even factoring in all of the positive changes that are coming, like interest rate reductions and stuff like that. So I have a pretty good idea where we're headed, but one step at a time. I'm not out here. You guys know I'm not out here making videos telling y'all how rich you're going to be in 2026. Because right now we got to survive Q3 and Q4 and Q1. Let one step at a time.
Exactly.
There'll be a time to buy for 2026. Right now, we got to be smart about where we're at while they're still repairing the balance sheet. That's my view on it.
No, I agree with you. And in the kind of back up what you're saying, the fact that Hollywood's gonna create more and more movies, and they're gonna get installed. That's what we're counting on, right? So, I mean, we're based off of stuff that's going on, but anything could happen, right? We don't know what's going to happen in 10 weeks from now with the geopolitical shit going around the world. We don't know. We hope everything's good, right? We're just going on a copacetic basis right now to get us to where we're going. As long as nothing changes until we get there, things look good. That's kind of what we're talking about, right, Tony?
Yeah, our general thesis is over the long run, box office is going to be good. AMC's got 100 million shares plus still, which is 500 million of cash raise capacity. We're hoping, we don't know, what their plans are to use that, obviously, but we're hoping that if the next several quarters or most of them can be profitable, then you have minimal to no cash burn. And then you don't need to sell shares to raise cash like they've had to do the last 3 years. You only need to do some share trading to fix the balance sheet, like the debt for equity swaps or convertible notes, and push some of that 2026 debt that's left out to 2029 or 2030. So we're long-term bullish about the box office. We're long-term optimistic about AMC, but we don't ignore the fact that they still have some balance sheet work to do. I guess, is that a fair way to say it, Mediocre?
Yeah, go see a movie. You want to help with your investment, you gotta go see movies. You got it.
The people that drive me the craziest, Mediocre, is like, I own AMC and I'm down 90% and I'm mad at Adam Aaron and everybody should boycott the movies. Like, bro, you said you own AMC. Why would you then say boycott the movies? Like, do you just hate your money?
Yeah, you're stabbing yourself in the back.
Go fucking see a movie, dipshit. Buy a beer, chill out. Go smoke one in the back row. Fuck.
Oh shit. I don't know. It's just it blows my mind. I hate when I'm looking at box office numbers, Tony, and some of them aren't doing as well as we thought. It drives me crazy.
Well, I mean, that's not our fault, Mediocre. That's the damn director's choices, like the Joker 2.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
what are you gonna do?
But we got to go see these movies too. I don't want to call them out, but there's some movies that aren't doing too great, right? Like, what's the reason why I got Smile 2 up here?
It's not doing as good as we were hoping it would do.
Exactly.
And it's one of the best, or if in my book, maybe the best horror movie of 2024. Arguably. Tech We Love, what's up, brother? He says there's, for domestic box office, there's AMC, Cinemark, Marcus, IMAX. Are those all the publicly traded ones? I have a a watch list. Let me put it up here and I'll show you. So we have AMC, Cinemark, IMAX, Marcus. Yeah, that's it that I'm tracking. I have Disney and Paramount on here. Obviously, they're not exhibitors. The only other one was Cineworld / Regal, but they went bankrupt. They're still out there, but they're privately owned and they're struggling. They're struggling still, even after their bankruptcy.
Tony.
They're especially struggling in the UK right now, which is maybe interesting for AMC. Yes, sir.
Why is Cinemark trading higher than AMC? Like, what's the deal with that?
I love that you asked that question. All right, let's look at Cinemark and what I look at. And I know people make videos and tell you all a bunch of different stuff. A couple things that you can see here on your broker would be the PE ratio right here. But I want to point out there's 2 PE ratios. You got and this is for all stocks, guys. This goes for every ticker you're looking at. You got your trailing 12 months, PE/TTM for Cinemark is 31, but then you have your PE ratio forecast, which is your forward PE ratio. Where does that come from? And notice how different these numbers are. Trailing is 31, forward is 21. For this industry, a normal PE ratio is between 20 and 25. The trailing 12 doesn't matter because those earnings are already booked and the price is at $30. That's why the trailing 12 looks high for Cinemark. And before I finish answering this question, I want to point this out. For IMAX, if you do the same thing, you'll see that the trailing 12 is 55. Does that mean you can go to AMC and say we're going to be 55 times earnings? If we make $1, it'll be a $55 stock? Absolutely not. If you're telling that to people on video or Twitter or social media, please stop. Learn how to understand the difference between trailing 12 months PE ratio and a forward PE ratio. You'll notice that the forward for IMAX is 21. The forward for Cinemark is, surprise, 21. So between 20 and 25 is normal for this industry. And at some point, when AMC has positive earnings, we will be able to apply a 20 to 25 PE ratio to the stock. The forward PE ratio comes from company guidance on their revenue and analysts understanding their profit and loss model, and they estimate what the earnings off of that revenue or the box office will be. Just like I can tell you, you give me a box office number, I can tell you what the earnings per share for AMC will be. So the analysts do the same thing for Cinemark or IMAX. They can estimate the next 12 months earnings because it's a spreadsheet. It's very predictable. If you input box office, you can output earnings and you multiply it by 21. That's how you get the price of Cinemark. It's not that people hate AMC. It's not that it's being suppressed. It's not illegality. It's that there's no positive earnings to apply that multiple to. Does that make sense, Mediocre? Did I explain that in a way that's easy to understand? We don't have positive earnings forward for 12 months yet.
Yeah, I think you explained it good.
The day that Adam Aaron or any analyst can look, if we book positive earnings for Q3 and Q4, and we know exactly what the company can turn on profit and earnings per share at $2.6 billion, this point in time, I know we did it last year, but if we can get 2 more data points, then the analysts can start making some reasonable predictions for next year. you might start seeing the narrative change. Imagine if every quarter next year is $2.6 billion. Like that would be just over $10 billion a year. Then you could say, all right, well, the company's going to make 25 cents positive for the year, 50 cents, whatever your number. Multiply that times 21. That's your AMC price target. This is all very freshman year college financial analysis. You don't need to have 2 degrees to figure this stuff out. And you should not be looking at price to sales, or in the case of GameStop, they want to look at price to book. Nobody's looking at that stuff. They're looking at price to earnings forward. That's it. In the most simple definition. Yes, there are other ways to evaluate price, but like what I want you guys to understand, the ones that are frustrated, not understanding what's going on, if you could at least wrap your heads around price to earnings ratio based on next 12 months positive earnings, everything will make sense for Cinemark and IMAX, and why AMC is being held back, because we don't have that confidence yet, but we could get it. We could get it in the next quarter or two.
I mean, just think what happened, Tony, if more movies got released by Hollywood. What would happen?
If more movies get dropped into 2025?
In 2025 or 2026.
Yeah, I mean, the more movies that drop in, that's more box office, that's more revenue, that's more earnings. That tide eventually will lift all boats.
I mean, the number is quite a ways away from when it was in 2019. I'd have to pull up the chart and look, but want to pull up Box Office Mojo real quick and look at it?
Yeah. Wait. Jim says only one analyst tweeted his numbers for Q3. Oh, tweet. Yeah. One guy released an update for Q3 and he didn't even talk about earnings. Did you notice that? He was talking about EV to EBITDA, which is a cop-out. He didn't want to mention the earnings. Box Office Mojo. All right, what are we looking at, Mediocre?
Releases per quarter.
Calendar?
Yeah.
For what? For what? When?
Just hold on, let me go look. Hang on a minute. I'll have to see it on the chart. It's where they have releases in 2019, like over 300.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And then we're less than that. What are we like?
This here.
Like, we can't see it.
Oh, sorry.
We'll get you.
Derp. All right, let me take us off the screen. This one is what you're talking about, right? 542 versus 900. 900. Imagine if we get even back up to 700, 800, 900 movies again in a year.
Exactly.
It might take till 2026 to get there. Right. But I still think, Mediocre, while we're on this screen, we have an outside chance of passing this number. Let's see, how far off? We're at 6.6. We got 2 months left. We'd need 2.3 billion to beat this number. Yeah, we have an outside chance of beating 2023. We're going to have a mega party. Mediocre, we scheduled a party if Q4 beats 2023. We only need 1.8 billion. I'm pretty sure that party is a lock.
Yeah.
We're going to drink 2 bottles of champagne.
Whoa.
We're going to drink 2 bottles of champagne live on camera if 2023 is beaten by 2024. $2.3 billion. That's a lot. But I think, my total guess for this quarter ranges between 2.5 and 2.7, and we're at 400 million right now. That means we have 2.3 to go, mediocre, on my top end estimate. We're in the ballpark of possibly beating 2023. Why did this year suck? Because of the actors and writers strike affecting Q1 and Q2. We've had phenomenal progress in Q3, and I think that Q4 is going to end with a bang. Gosh, man, if the industry could beat 2023, what a fucking year this will be.
And it's industry based, which is great. And we know AMC gets the lion's share of that. That's what's important, right? Because that's what makes us profitable. We're not as slim as Cinemark is, Tony.
Gamer with ESP says, although I would expect most stocks in the industry to settle around 20 to 25 forward PE ratio, I believe if AMC gets profitable as a meme stock, it will settle at a PE ratio higher than 2025. I would say, just my opinion, and thank you for sharing your thoughts, it might spike higher than the others for sure. But I mean, every company within industry has different PE ratios. That's a fact. That is a fact. I mean, if you look at retail companies like GameStop and all its competitors, they all have different PE ratios. But over time, as people in the market are comparing them, they're trying to get them to some valuation where they're all reasonable. So I don't know. I mean, I'd love it if AMC had a higher PE ratio than competitors. And I definitely could foresee there'd be moments where it has a far higher on some meme stock spike. But I'm just going to say on this channel, as we do predictions and things like that, I'm not going to talk about that stuff. I'm going to keep it very middle of the road, just so you guys have a grounded perspective. And then you know in your heart of hearts that I'm always hoping for more.
I mean, we've had a good week already so far, Tony.
As far as the run up,
Yeah, I mean, we're above 450. That's a big big step right there. As long as we can hold that level, and I think we can. That means next week we could easily, get closer to 5.
let's hope so, amigo. All right, let's move on to DJT real quick, because this is going to be kind of a quick live stream tonight. Let me put that screen up. Anybody playing DJT? It's been a fun one to watch. As I've told you guys for a long, long time, the financials of DJT are an absolute wreck. But this is a stock which moves on news. And as people get more and more excited about the future upcoming and certain election of Donald Trump, the price has moved up from 11 to 54 bucks, kind of peaked out up here.
Oh, shit, Tony.
Sorry, Anya. I had to work that in.
Oh.
The price did peak out up here, and we got. I'm not playing DJT. I sure as hell wish I was. But it's on its way back down. I can't tell you where it's going to go. Notice how it stopped mediocre right at the 50. So it found support there.
Mm.
This is on the hourly. Let's see how we look on the daily. It could go way lower on the daily. We got the 200 simple at 35. We got the 200 EMA at 29. We got the EMA 50 at 27. So I can't tell you what will happen, but those would be some support levels if it's falling down. the election's only days away, and this is just a battle now between people that were buying it, maybe some shorts that were covering. But this thing is completely untethered from any sort of normal analysis because the company's not profitable and they barely have any revenue. Not even $1 million in revenue. And their market cap is $8 billion. So I'm just going to say trade to your heart's content and good luck to you. But I hope you've been taking some profits on the way up. And I don't know what'll happen in the coming days leading up to the election, but what a fantastic run. Fantastic. What are you thinking, Mediocre?
I hope it's successful.
We were looking at it this previous weekend talking about selling puts. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The IV was insane. The amount of money you could have made, even selling puts down here at $19.
We looked all the way down to $10. I was tempted to do it.
Insane the amount of money you could have made selling puts.
I just did not want it. It would have been almost as good as that other trade I did, but I didn't want to leave where I'm sitting, where I got my money parked at the moment.
Yep. Selling puts is just a refresh. If you haven't been in any of our wheel strategy live streams or watched any of those, that does not mean that you're betting against the company. That means that if you sold a put at $20, you're willing to buy it if it drops under 20. That's what you're saying.
Right.
But you also are picking, as we're looking at it, as we're doing a wheel on a stock, we're kind of thinking, what's a strike price we could sell a put at that we don't think it will fall below?
Right.
So we could sell the $20 strike, keep the money, and never have to worry about being exercised.
Right. So to make it easy for you guys to understand, let's just say, you think this stock is going to go to say it's trading at 15, you think it's going to go to 20, right? But you don't want to buy it at 15, but you'll buy it at 10. So you sell a put at 10 to somebody who thinks the stock is going to go down. You don't think the stock is going to go down. You think the stock is going to go up. Well, you're going to take that person's money.
You're going to take the money from the person who's betting on it to go down.
Exactly.
By selling a put, you're taking money from someone who's betting on it to go down. That's how I want you to think about selling put options.
That's why I said it that way, Tony. Because I think
people hear the word put, Mediocre, and they think we're betting against the company. No, we're taking the money from people who are betting against the company.
Right.
Like when we sell puts on AMC, we're taking money from the Project Popcorn dipshits. The people who are saying it's going to $1.50. The people who are saying it's going bankrupt. We've looked at the financials. We don't believe that. If we sell a put, it's because we know we're reasonably confident it's not going down to that level. And if it did, we'd be willing to buy it. Exactly. We'd be willing to let our put be exercised.
Exactly. So that's one of the things, like, why I want you guys to understand how options actually work, because there's a lot of misinformation out there about how even options work. People don't know. And
they hear the word put and they think negative, bearish. You're betting against the company. Not if you're a seller. You're just smart most of the time. Well, our biggest discussion, Mediocre and I, as we were talking about it this weekend, is what is if God forbid Trump doesn't get elected, how far and how fast could this thing fall? Like, what is a safe strike price? And I don't know that we came to a safe answer, because if he wasn't elected, this stock is going to get obliterated. What's the point of True Social if he's not elected? They don't have any revenue. They're losing money. And if he's not elected, I mean, this thing could go to the floor. If he is elected, perhaps the opposite happens, at least momentarily.
I think it's in America's best interest to elect a gentleman,
Yeah, we're not going to get into politics, but some of y'all know how we feel. All right, Dr. Z4 says, do you sell calls as often as you sell puts? If we're in a position that we think is relatively low volatility, I don't want to speak for mediocre, but I'm just speaking in general for our Discord and the people that trade options on a regular basis. If we're selling calls, and I'm not selling any on AMC right now because we're approaching earnings, but I know people that are, we try and pick a strike price that we don't think it's going to reach. So let's say you're at 450 right now for AMC and you don't think it's going to go over $6. If you're a person that thought that, you would sell a $6 call because you want to keep your shares and you want to also generate that covered call income. But you say to yourself, my cost average is $3, $4. If I get my shares called away at $6, I'm okay with it because I'm going to make a 50% profit. And I've only been holding it for a month or two. Some people do that. Other people, if you're one of the people that think it's going to the moon, you would not want to do that because you probably don't want your shares taken away at $6. So I don't have any set advice for anyone. We talk about you got to decide what's your thesis and what are you comfortable with. Are we generally selling calls? Sometimes, yes. I haven't sold calls on AMC in months. Mainly because the options premium's been absolute shit. Like if it were to run up, I'm not going to lose my shares to make 2 pennies. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not gonna lose my shares. I'd rather wait. I think my opinion is we may have a good earnings quarter, or the call will be good, and I don't want to risk it. So
that's why I have no sold options on AMC right now. If I was mediocre, I'd probably sell puts because my belief, I know some people think it's going to go to $1.50. My belief is that is not going to happen. So selling puts would seem like for me, my strategy, my risk tolerance, a reasonable plan because I don't think it's going to go down. But I have enough AMC shares for my risk tolerance right now, and I'm betting on the long side, the upside, and we'll find out in a week what happens. DJT says, is there any way I can get access to your AMC spreadsheet? I have not even shared that in the Discord. I mean, I put a lot of my personal time, sweat, and tears into that. And although it's not impossible to create your own, I kind of view it as proprietary. I have a lot of formulas in there that I created, and I go in and tweak every quarter to make sure they give me the best number possible, most realistic. And I try and share the results with you guys, but I don't know at this point that I'm willing to share the spreadsheet, just because then, every YouTuber out there is going to start copying it. I want them to do their own work. Is that reasonable?
Absolutely, Tony.
I want them to do their own work. The only way they're going to learn is to build a profit and loss spreadsheet, start doing some forecasting, understand how the financials work. Then you get grounded in reality real quick.
I'm going to tell you guys, he puts hours into it. every day. You know, I mean, he really does. The information that you get from Tony, I don't. I'm just telling you, he puts hours in for to get you guys that information. That
Someone
I
has someone has asked me before, do you have a spreadsheet that you could sell that's like a general model for every company? No, because every company's cost model is different. Every company's revenue streams are different. I have another spreadsheet for GameStop that I also spent days creating a predictive model. And every single one is customized work. And I do that for me because I'm trading the stocks, but as often as I can, I try and provide updates to you guys on what it's showing. So no, there's no general template. But I mean, if you want a template, just go to the income statement. Go to any company's income statement and create a spreadsheet from it. And then create your formulas. The science comes in understanding how to create formulas in a spreadsheet that are predictive based on previous data points. Now, I've worked with spreadsheets for 30 years. So for me, it's relatively easy, but for some people, it might not be.
I'm just going to tell you guys, like, I have a couple spreadsheets, but mine are very, very easy and they don't pertain to any of the financials.
Anya's, go ahead, Mediocre.
I was just going to say there's a couple of spreadsheet guys, Tony and Rolf, that I use, and that's that. I mean, that's how I do it. Because even if he gave me the spreadsheet, I wouldn't be able to really use it to its potential. So that's
Anya's asking, are we going to get a sneak peek? Are you talking about from AMC, Anya? Is AMC going to sneak peek earnings? I would say no at this point.
I think she's talking about your spreadsheet.
Oh, I'm going to answer both, but for AMC, if they do a sneak peek, they do it when they announce the earnings call, and we didn't get that. As far as my spreadsheet, I already published my expectations for Q3 on October 1st, Anya. From Adam Aaron, no, you're not going to get a sneak peek. They've done it, I think, 3 times in recent history, Anya. And I went back and looked every time they pre-released earnings. Now, I mean, they could still surprise me. But based on the pattern of the last several years, anytime they pre-released earnings expectations, or at least revenue expectations, they announced it simultaneous with announcing the earnings call. So that's my thought on that. Not likely. Would I like it just to screw the shorts? Yes, I would love it. I would love
what is our short interest, Tony? I haven't been following that too much.
I haven't looked. You want to know how much attention I pay to short interest?
Hold on, Tony.
I don't even know.
Why don't you just run the numbers?
I'm focused on box office, cash flow, cash burn, and positive earnings. Short interest is a minor afterthought for me. I might look at it once a week. It is around 16% mediocre.
Still there, huh?
I mean, the shorts are going to be there until they have a reason not to be. That's the problem. That's why I don't care. I don't care. If they're short and the company beats, maybe we scare some of them out. 16% is a pretty interesting number. If the price moves up, some of them might get flushed. If they're not well capitalized, or if they're the small time retail shorts with not a lot of capital to back up, they're gonna be like, oh fuck, they beat earnings. I was told it was going to $1.50 and they just posted 20 cents positive earnings. That $1.50 ain't happening. those small guys will get flushed. Benjamin, what's up, amigo? Dr. Z says, do you use short Ortex for short interest? I used to when I was looking at it every day, but that's $75 a month. And after looking at it every day long enough, I realized knowing the short interest every day, every minute, every second was not improving my trading. And there were other tools that I could use that money for that were much more worth of the money. Stockanalysis.com, Market Chameleon, what else? Dilution Tracker.
You just wake up and
Captain Caveman. What's up, amigo? What are my thoughts on GME? I've heard a couple, just to recap real quick, I've heard a couple people say it's running for no reason. I disagree. It's running because of FOMO, social media hype around Ryan Cohen being in Madison Square Garden about the upcoming election. And apparently, I don't know if y'all heard this, apparently when Trump wins, he's going to appoint Patrick Byrne as the head of the SEC. But Ryan Cohen got us started over the weekend. And wink, wink, nudge, nudge, by the way, for that last comment. That's just what I heard somewhere. And then on top of Ryan Cohen, we had the Roaring Kitty getting out of Chewy. Where'd that money go? People ran it up overnight last night thinking he must be in GameStop. Maybe he is. I don't know. But I'm only interested in buying if the price drops. My last two buys were around 1950. I'd be willing to consider it around there. Or I think my buy before that was on the move up. I think I paid $29 and sold at 60. So when I see a push above 25 on high volume, I might be interested for a upward momentum swing trade. Let's see, what did I pay? Yeah, I paid $29.70 and then I sold at 60 and 43. So I don't care about the price. I care about, can I get a good trade? And there's no news right now for me to say jump in and buy right here. But I'm watching. I need more volume than this. Need more volume.
back on GME, buddy?
Yeah, we just had someone drop in and ask a question. So that's where I'm at. As you guys know, I like Ryan Cohen. I don't hate GameStop, despite what the GameStop YouTubers will tell you. He hates GameStop. He wants us to lose. No, no. But I think you should stop lying to people about book value being important, or of creating any sort of share price valuation on book value. That's bogus. The share price valuation is going to come from earnings. So we better all hope, if you're long on GameStop, that they have a great earnings beat on Q3. And I'm not forecasting that. In the meantime, even though I'm not forecasting a great earnings beat, if it happens, awesome. I'm not short. I don't care. I hope you guys win. In the meantime, while we're waiting on that, the best thing that I'd like to see happen for anyone that wants the price to come up is some news from management or from Keith Gill to reinvigorate the volume. And so we've got 3 days. But I need 3 days is good. I want to see it push over 25 on high volume. Then I'll be in. I might be in for an hour. I might be in for a day. I might be in for 2 days. But if it pushes over, I'll buy a little bit and see what happens. And I will have a stop loss if it drops back under. Hello. Yeah.
It must be the wife. What do we got
Yeah,
going?
I'm doing a live stream right now. Hang on one second. Mediocre, I need to check something for her.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to let you answer some questions, and I will be back in a couple seconds.
You got it, buddy. All right, people. What's cracking? What do we got? Let's see. That's right. Dr. Z. Happy wife, happy life. What else we got? Let's see. I don't know. I mean, you guys, I'll just talk a little AMC, even though he's got this GME chart up. I don't really like talking about GME too much, you guys, because I find it's not in the range that I like to trade. So I don't like to talk about it like like that. So I don't really pay too much attention to it. I know some people love GameStop, and I mean, I love the company. I want them to succeed, and I hope you all do well. But I prefer AMC because for me, it's easy to keep track of box office, how box office is doing, stuff like that. Right? I have something tangible to look at and see if things are going in my favor or not. It allows me to make better decisions. That's one of the reasons why I choose AMC. But I trade other stocks as well. You know, like we got some money in Lunar, a little bit in Lunar. They got a launch coming up. We got some stock, some options. We like to play a little bit of JetBlue sometimes. You know, we look around where the volatility is. That's what we do. Welcome back, Tony.
I'm back. And while I was up, I grabbed a second cerveza. The
Nice.
first one I just had, by the way, not sponsored, of course, but my wife bought me a couple of different stuff to try, just singles. This one was really, really good. The first one I had, Voodoo Love Child Belgian style triple ale. I wish Doc Zeno was watching right now. He would probably either be familiar with this one or you should try it. I would say Voodoo Love Child.
I mean, he loves all that stuff.
Yeah, and this other one that I'm trying now is called Bear King Brewing West Coast style IPA, and they are out of, I can't read it. I don't know where they're out of. It says West Coast style, so someone Google Bear King. I was like, are you trying to give me a hint here? Bear King. We're not bears in this family. Voodoo Brewing is out of Pennsylvania. Anywho, let's see what we got here. Voodoo is better. This one's not bad though. Dr. Z says I like Miller Lite. I just came off of I had a 12-pack of Coors Light. Miller Lite is very popular in Texas. Very respectable drink down here. Mediocre, when are we going to do a 40 night?
We talked about it, Tony, didn't we?
Yeah. What should we do? Like, I don't even know what are all the brands.
I don't know. But if it's got to be something I'll drink. I just can't do it.
They're malt liquors, right?
No, some of them are. Yeah, I can't do it.
40 ounce. Old English. Is that still around?
I don't know. But when I was in high school, I used to drink this beer called Golden Anniversary.
Colt 45.
Like $10
Mickey's,
a case.
Old English 800. Mediocre. One night we're going to fucking do this just for the hell of it. We're going to maybe when we have the next party.
We're going to do champagne and beer.
Hey, in some worlds, beer is the Oh wait, what is the beer that's the champagne of beers?
What do you think of Natty Light?
Never tried it. Yeah, we need to do the Old English 800 if that's still around, or Colt 45. Mediocre. Back in college days, for one summer, I worked at a convenience store, and that's when I learned about all these. I worked the night shift. You know how people wander in and they buy the 40-ounce beer? Like, how you buying a 40-ounce beer for like $1.99? That's crazy.
I mean, I got a fucking liquor store in here, Tony. I ain't even kidding.
Anya says, hubby says Old English is not around. Dr. Z says, do you like edibles? Is that for me or mediocre? I've tried a couple edibles. They fuck me up till about noon the next day, so I try not to do them.
Listen, Tony.
Yo.
I like my fucking vodka, all right? I'm not even kidding. This is just, you know.
Can y'all see that? Let's see Mediocre's screen in the background there. I'm going to close this screen share. I want to see this.
And to the
Oh,
right.
wait, I didn't mean to play that.
And to the right.
Hang on.
And to the right.
Hello, millionaire.
Hold on. I didn't mean to play that. I was trying to get your screen there, Mediocre.
Get it there.
Smile. Yeah, I like that monitor you got back there. How many inches is that?
That's a 22-inch.
22-inch. Nice.
I don't know fucking size of this. Oh, shit.
All right, y'all got any other tickers you want us to look at before the wife gets home?
I just want to say, I want to clear something up for the record. I know I showed all those vodka bottles, people. Listen to me. I make limoncello. So that's the vodka that I drink. When the bottle's empty, I use it to put my limoncello in. So that's why I have so many bottles. I don't want somebody thinking, oh, look at Mediocre, you're a fucking alcoholic.
Would you say limoncello is more of a spring, summer drink? Or
Absolutely.
All right. Because I'm going to try that recipe of making my own limoncello. I'm not a big limoncello fan. I know that might be heresy for an Italian, but maybe in the spring I'll try it.
I like it. I like that. Lemony, like anything lemon is, I dig it.
Any other tickers? Any other questions? The Mediocre, when I was chatting with that guy in Meltdown, he's like, Tony, you need to tell them what the fair value of AMC is. Like, bro, why don't you ever just come watch a single video or live stream that we do? We talk about valuing AMC pretty much. I feel like pretty much every video or every live stream, we call it a speculative stock because it's not profitable. The balance sheet's upside down.
There's no way to know what the...
How do you value a stock that has no positive earnings other than our people's expectations for future earnings? That is how you value AMC right now.
That's
it.
how I'm valuing it.
There's no math for me to tell you the fair price of AMC right now. What are people willing to pay based on their expectations for potential future earnings? That's it.
But
when
we do
when
math.
the day comes, Mediocre, that we can say the next 12 months is going to be 25 cents positive, 50 cents positive, $1 positive. When that day comes, I will tell you what the fair price of AMC should be, will be. Anything else is just speculation, which is why I call it speculative. It's not difficult.
No. But Tony, we also we do a lot of math, right? We figure out, well, if at this, market cap, if it was a profitable company, it should be worth this, right? Like we do that stuff, right? So it's not like we're just, taking shit and throwing it at the wall and hoping it sticks. We kind of have an idea what's up, dude, What else did you want me to say there? I don't know.
I don't know. The assumptions that people make just crack me up, mediocre, on social media about us or what we say. Like, I see people telling others what we say all the time that clearly don't watch my channel, or they leave a comment. Don't make these GameStop videos. Quit making the up and to the right. You're a pumper. Like, you dipshit. I don't even own the damn stock, and I've been trading it. I've been swinging it for 2 years. Like, how about you learn something about who you're talking to before
Yeah,
you
like
leave a
don't
comment?
listen, audience. Don't ever expect me to hold anything. Just know that right up front.
Oh, here's a good one. Mediocre, I'll let you answer this one. How did you guys meet?
Oh man. All right,
Do
Brian.
the nice version.
All right. So the quick, nice version was Matt. Okay, so this is how it all started. Back,
And I'm going to preface this by saying mediocre thought I was a horrible person and unvetted before he knew me.
listen, back in 2021, um, I used to watch Massalorian, and he was doing lives with Tony, and Tony was putting on all these lives with all the YouTubers. They were trying to bring all the YouTubers together. Okay, and but I was watching Massalorian, and there was a couple people on Mass's show that I didn't agree with. For whatever reason, doesn't really matter. Okay, they were YouTubers at the time, and they kind of really made me angry. And so I commented to Mass and had a kind of like what you guys do when you comment, right? And I kind of made them talk about it, but I was kind of upset about it. So I reached out to another YouTuber, um, and
Who will not be named.
yeah, I brought him into my Discord, and I gave him my my due diligence and what I thought turned out correct. By the way, still have it in my Discord, but that's besides the fact. Then, so him and I started doing a show together with another guy who we won't name.
There's a lot of people who've fallen by the wayside that we won't name.
And so I met Tony in a heated argument on Casey Shaw's Discord. Is when I really met Tony. I knew who Tony was. I didn't like him. Just like a lot of people on YouTube, I thought he was an asshole, which I've told him, right? And I didn't like, as you know, his his. I hated that he was right a lot, and he was not really into pushing the stock in a direction, right? He was more realistic, okay. And at the time, I wanted the stock to pump and mow ass like everybody else, right? Um, Even though I was trading the SPY, I was trading all my other stocks, right? But I held AMC. But when we were getting closer to um, the, I don't even know what to call it. What do you want to call the conversion reverse split? The block.
Just call it the reverse split conversion.
It was miserable. So there was a lot of due diligence that was done specifically on that with a group of us, and it turned out to be correct. Like we knew it was going to be correct, and so there was a lot of people like the whole ape thing people didn't like, and because of AMC was always the play. People didn't want to believe in the ape. And even though you had the CEO saying it was 1-for-1 with AMC and it was trading for less, there was a lot of arguments on that. And for me, I'm like, I'm not going to lose all my money. It's clearly 1-for-1. Like, why are people pushing the narrative? That bothered me. And so I stepped away from people like that and started doing my own due diligence. I actually lost some good friends over that, to be honest with you. And and that's I feel bad for losing a few good friends, but I mean, it's their loss, not mine. I'm doing just fine. I have all my money. I'm profitable. I'm making money.
Mediocre. Can I interject one statement which will make more sense in about 7 days?
Yeah, go ahead.
We lost a few along the way.
Absolutely, we did.
Some of y'all in my Discord already know what I'm talking about. The rest of you will find out in a week.
Exactly.
All right, carry on. Sorry.
No, you're good. And so that's pretty much how we met. It was basically sharing due diligence and talking over what was actually going on with the court filings with AMC and the judge, and what was found in the documents. Why AMC was worth 1-for-1 with Ape was worth 1-for-1 with AMC, and the whole math behind that. Okay, and there was many spreadsheets. Tony had a couple of different spreadsheets, and so when it came down, it was getting close to the wire. What was going on? Um, the documents dropped. I'm just going to tell you what they were. You can go look them up if you choose. It's past now, so I really don't care that much. I feel bad for people who did not do well, right? Like I feel for you. The information was there. I wish that people would have listened, but the truth was, it was in the court documents what was going to happen. Okay, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And me and Tony became really good friends because we went over that stuff. We talked about it in a responsible, reasonable way, and that's ultimately how we became really good friends. I think that's fair, right?
Yeah, I mean, we met through other YouTubers, and he didn't like me in the beginning, and then he realized I wasn't against anybody. I just speak very plainly, and that pisses a lot of people off, and I'm sorry. But I ask my wife; she'll tell you the same thing about me. That's just me. I speak. If I believe in something, I'm going to tell you, even if it's what you don't want to hear.
See, the thing with Tony too is he'll make you think, right? Like you could be wrong about something, and Tony's not going to come out and say, "Hey, you're a jerk off. You're wrong." He ain't going to do that. He's going to say, "Well, what about this?" Blah blah blah, and because he knows he's right, and he'll just give you whatever. You may like it or you may not. That's on you. But at least he reached out and tried to give you the information. Whether you accept it or not, I don't know what to tell you.
Can't save them all. That's what I say, mediocre. Who is this? Manicio says, when did you do your last casting for a movie? I think the last one I did was around the time that I met my wife. And that was kind of like the final straw that broke my back. So that would have been 7 to 10 years ago. They didn't even finish the damn project. And I was never SAG-AFTRA. I didn't have my SAG-AFTRA card. I was just doing free projects just for fun. I enjoy it. I would still do it again if I had the right project. But when you're doing stuff for free, you run into a lot of other people that are, directors, writers, producers, other actors that are doing stuff for free. Everybody enjoys the craft. And sometimes the producers of the movie don't fucking follow through and finish the project. And as an actor, you're looking for, like, if I do the project, I want some clips so I can put it on my own little personal advertising reel to show the next guy. And I got tired of spending weeks doing stuff for free and getting nothing out of it. And then they don't even finish the damn project.
But Tony, I thought
there's only so many hours you can work for free before you say, fuck this shit. Go ahead, mediocre. What?
I thought Adam Aaron 22 was going to hook you up with a job.
I've talked to Adam Aaron for about 30 seconds in Dallas where I shook his hand and said, thank you for everything you're doing. That is the extent of all of my conversations with him. I know there's people that think, he gave us secret marching orders or secret information. I didn't ask him any questions. I said, thank you. I understand how executives think, what they're doing. I read the 10 Qs. I listened to what they said they needed to do to fix the balance sheet. I know, for all of us that were holding the stock and waiting for a squeeze, some of the choices they made were not ideal. I get that. But these guys are trying not to file Chapter 11. So they're going to have to make some tough choices. And that's the extent of my conversation with Adam Aaron. About 30 seconds in Dallas, shaking his hand and saying thank you.
So, Tony,
I've tweeted, I've DM'd him a couple of suggestions and complaints over the years, Mediocre. Never one fucking response.
Yeah,
not one.
He doesn't respond to me either, but I just wanted people to know that I'm only kidding when I say shit like that. Like, don't take it seriously, people.
You're only kidding when what?
When I say, like, oh, Adam Aaron was going to get you a job and stuff like that. Like, I'm being...
Oh, yeah. It's funny because we see the Popcorn Project people with all their nut job conspiracy bullshit. All these influencers are paid by AMC. Maybe some of them were. I don't know. I don't know. I think there's just a lot of people who really have strong beliefs. Some of them are a little bit delusional on both sides. Maybe some of them got paid, but I don't know. If you're getting paid and you're not disclosing it, you should be fucking sanctioned by the SEC. And I say that as someone who's never been paid by any company to promote or talk bad about a stock. I'd be pissed if I found out that someone was getting paid. But I think that they all know the penalties of doing so. And if it ever comes to light that they were, then throw the book at them as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I don't get paid, just so y'all know. I make my money in the market, just like the rest of you do. I'm just a regular dude.
I'm the same as you guys. Put my pants on one leg at a time. But after I put my pants on, we make $10,000 trades, Mediocre.
Oh, shit. That's funny. Here you go, bragging. You've been bragging for 3 weeks now, Tony.
That's an old Saturday Night Live line, by the way, if you're not familiar. Can I get a little more of that cowbell? What this song needs is a little more cowbell. Have we ever looked at clove? Yes, I looked at clove back in the day when Lou used to pump it. It was a train wreck back then. If I'm not mistaken, clove finally, they turned around, didn't they? Didn't they finally start making some profits here recently?
I started looking at it the other day. It was it ran up, yeah.
Let me pull up the chart because I want to give props if a company fixes their shit. Share screen. Share screen. Come on. Share screen. Why? Why is it not? It's not working.
I don't know.
Huh.
What did they do, Tony?
Let me try again. There we go. All right. Clove back in the day. Huh. Was this the pump back in 2021? The OG pump? Yeah, this was it, Mediocre. It went from $6 to 28. I think Lou was pumping it back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they had shit financials, so it fell after that all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down to 70 cents. Oh, 60 cents. And then somewhere around here, probably May, I think they probably started having some positive earnings. Let's just check. Let's double check that. So net income, positive 7 million. You see how quick things turn, Mediocre?
Yep.
They went from negative earnings. nothing but negative.
How much dilution did they go through?
Let's do an easier way of looking at it than this chart, but let's just take a gander at this chart, because literally this could be the future of AMC at one point. When you go from negative earnings to positive, look how things can change. What's their forward PE ratio? It's still negative. So analysts must not be predicting positive earnings for it going forward. But let me pull up their financials. And let's see what it shows us. These are fun little exercises, Mediocre, to kind of trace what's going on with the company.
Yeah.
So their revenue did not dramatically. See how the revenue didn't dramatically increase over the past couple of quarters? It's actually down.
Yeah.
But they had this blip where earnings went positive on the last quarter, and the stock took off. Started taking off a little bit before that, it looks like. Let's just do a quick look at their balance sheet, see if anything else changed. And you wanted to ask about dilution.
Yeah, I want you to pull up drills.
It's actually, they haven't really diluted, Mediocre.
That's good then.
So yeah, that's good. Only 2 cents of earnings. So the price of $4 seems a little bit high for 487 million shares. But balance sheet wise, total assets on the decline, cash and cash equivalents is, I'm going to average that out and say holding steady, growing over the last 3 quarters. Assets, 674 million, liabilities, 349. So they have positive shareholders' equity and working capital. Current assets. I don't see total current assets, just other. Oh, well. Anyways, they have positive shareholders' equity. Cash flow, positive. 2 quarters of positive operating cash flow. It's not a horrible company. The price seems a little bit high based on 2 cents of earnings. So, yeah, I would say still be careful, but I don't know anything about what this company has coming down the pipe. So that's all I can say. But it seems they've turned a corner, and hopefully that continues. We're back, Mediocre.
Perfect. I'm just tired.
Matt says, what happened to the other stock that changed its name Lou was talking about? I don't know. What one are we talking about? The other one they used to pump a lot was GTII. Remember that one? That was a total shit show. That company never had revenue, never earned $1. And people were buying that thing like it was going out of style because of a short squeeze. Like, you got to ask yourself, why would shorts be shorting a company that has no revenue? What would be the number one reason you would short a company with no revenue, Mediocre?
Why would you short it? Because they got no revenue, Tony. I mean,
do you think you're going to beat them?
Well, how are you going to lose?
How are they going to lose? I mean, the company has no revenue. It's just a cash furnace.
Right.
The only way they could lose is if you're betting on the fact that that company could pull together some deal, but they seemed allergic to doing deals.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they had deal after deal come through, and none of them panned out. And now that they're going, they got taken to court, mediocre, by the shareholders, and they found out that the CEO of that company, all the CEO and the board, everyone got kicked out. It's in receivership. It's being managed by somebody else now. They were selling shares to buy new cars, to go shopping, to go on expensive vacations, staying at the finest hotels in Beverly Hills, just like totally wasting shareholders' money and issuing stock all along. But this is the hill that shareholders, investors that were listening to Lou and Ham and George Washington, William, that's the hill you wanted to die on? A company that has no revenue and the CEO is fleecing you? Come on, man. We can find better hills to die on. At least GameStop, they have a functional business. At least AMC has a functional business. Yeah, they got their problems, but box office is growing. Why are you going to pick a non-revenue company to be your hill to die on? I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
Me either. But Tony, what about Mullen? What's up with that? We ain't talked about that in a minute.
Mullins. Whatever happened to that guy that had the perpetual energy machine? Mullen, no results found. What happened? Is it Mullen Q now?
That quick? We just made money out of it, Tony.
Oh yeah, we did. How much did we make on that, mediocre?
$17. No, I made
percentage
10.
wise. Was it like 1,000%, 900%?
I think it was 4,000% from what was it, 17 cents, like $10. One share.
We're the only people that ever made money on Mullen. Oh man, let's see. So Bollinger delivered their first B4. Congratulations.
Anya says she cleaned up on Mullen.
Who did? Anya. I had multiple accounts I had bought Mullen in. I made thousands of % on each one after that reverse split. Enough to buy, for every account I had at least enough to buy a Big Mac value meal. But in terms of percentage, one of my best trades of the year. So mediocre, they did report. Let's make sure. Let's go to quarterly. They did report some revenue. So what is that? 0.07 times $1 million. Is that $70,000? Where's my big brain math whizzes?
Yeah. Where's Richie?
But on that income, they had a loss of $95 million. Ouch! That's a spanking.
Was it 0.07?
0.07 times 1 million.
70,000.
70. I was right. Despite 2 beers, $70,000 revenue, and they lost 95 million. I mean, in my book, those aren't great odds for Mullen shareholders. So yeah, why are the shorts attacking it, if they even are? I don't know. I mean, because no revenue, $100 million losses per quarter, no real production. Even if they do produce vehicles, it's not going to come close to offsetting the massive losses. Corrupt CEO who enriches himself with all sorts of bonuses built in to Mullen. You guys have seen it. Oh, we invented an invention where the Mullen could create a cup of water, 1 cup of water per day from the atmosphere. Oh, here, Mr. Mishery, here's 10 million shares for creating an invention. If we are able to find somebody to finance us and keep us from going bankrupt, the CEO will get 10% extra bonus of shares. Oh, great. So Bad news, guys. You're going to get another 1 billion shares, but David Michery gets another 10 million himself. It's just ridiculous. I mean, you want to find a CEO to complain about? Go look at David Michery. I get it. Some of y'all want to complain about Adam Aron, but at least AMC has increasing revenues. They're actually doing something. Mullen's not quite there yet. And even, to get off the Mullen topic, someone was asking me earlier, how come you're not covering all the other EV plays, Rivian, Lucid? You were covering those for a while. I was covering those for a while, and then I realized all of them are train wrecks. All of them are train wrecks in some form or fashion. Probably my favorite that has a shot would be Rivian. Maybe Lucid, because they got the Saudi Arabia backing. I don't know. Maybe we'll do an end of year roundup on all the EV companies, but not worth my time. Like, I only have so many hours in the day, mediocre, to look at companies, and EVs are not where it's at.
No.
They're just cash burning furnaces, except for Tesla. I don't hate them. I love Rivian's cars. I love Lucid's cars.
I've seen them. They look nice, right?
I've driven all of them. I drove Mullen. I drove a Lucid. I've driven Rivian. I've driven Polestar.
Are you going to buy one, Tony?
Am I going to buy one?
Yeah.
I would want to buy from a company that I know has a future. What happens if the company goes bankrupt? Where are you going to get parts, mediocre? How's that going to affect your resale value? I think about stupid shit like that, but just at face value, if I didn't think about that, they're all beautiful cars.
Yeah.
Polestar, Lucid, Rivian. But I think 5 years out before I buy anything that I'm going to spend $100,000 on. So I'm probably mediocre, just going to go with a diesel 4x4 crew cab dually.
I love it.
If that's all right with you.
That's perfectly fine with me.
My vehicle is approaching 400,000 miles, believe it or not. And since we got the truck for my wife, I was debating whether to sell the truck after I fix it up or sell my vehicle. And part of me really wants to take a vehicle roll the odometer over 400,000 miles. But part of me is also like, what if it dies in the next 30,000 miles? And I have a $9,000 vehicle that's going to be worth $1,000. What would you guys do? Would you sell the car now and take the $8,000 or $9,000, or would you, just for pride, roll the dice for another 6 months or a year and hope you roll over 400,000 miles? Chevrolet sends me free shit all the time, mediocre, because I'm a registered high odometer owner.
Nice. Me? I drive so many cars, it's not even funny. It's annoying.
I never intended to drive this car that long, but as long as I don't like spending money that I don't need to, as long as it's still functional and still looks good, why go spend another 100,000 on a car? I've enjoyed not having a payment for these last few years.
I like to collect cars, Tony.
Wait, Fisher's cars are bricked now? Are you serious? I didn't hear that. Are you serious? Anya says, I would buy a Toyota Tundra if I were you. Believe it or not, Anya, that is the car that my wife's driving right now. Remember that project truck that I was fixing up? It is a Tundra. 4x4 V8. And when we got it, she was like, I don't know if I want to keep this car. Once you fix it up, it's too much power. But she's getting used to it. So she still talked to me today. She's like, I know you're thinking about selling your car, but what about the truck? I really want to get a little sports car. I don't want a big truck. So one bridge at a time. We'll figure it out. What, mediocre?
I said, yeah, a little sports car. That's what they all want.
That's what she had before her accident.
My wife just wants an SUV. She's happy with her brand new SUV. That's what she wants. Every 3 years, it's like, come on.
I'm trying to convince her to buy an EV, just so we have something to talk about between you and me, mediocre. Like, I'd like to have. I've driven some Tesla, like, from friends and stuff, but I'd like to have one and live with it for a year.
I used to be big on electric cars, Tony, to be honest. Like when the Chevy Volt came out, I really wanted to buy that for my wife. My kids were much younger back then, and you know, as I got into the market and started doing more research on them, I'm not interested in EVs anymore.
I'm looking up the Fisker news. We know that Fisker was going bankrupt, right? You guys know that. I have not heard that Fisker's cars were all bricked. I don't see the headline that says that. Let me check, see if there's any comments in. Fisker's trading at, is it still trading? I can't even tell if it's trading. It gives me some weird symbol, SPAC-U. Delisted. Yeah, they were always problematic because they didn't have enough volume.
That's the problem with them, right?
Of production. Yeah, they didn't have enough volume of production.
If it's not a Ford, a Chevy, or a Tesla as far as electric goes, I don't really want to mess with it.
Yunhua says, I own 2 hybrid Wranglers. Yeah, I was looking at like a electric Ford F-150, and then I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. Like, if you're going to have a truck, I feel like it should be a diesel. In Texas, I'm thinking like a F-250 diesel crew cab, long bed. I don't really need a dually. I had a dually before. I had a F-350 dually, but that was to pull my boat. I don't necessarily need a dually. But I don't know. I'll try the electric one when I go test drive, when I'm ready to buy something. And I'm not necessarily stuck on buying a Ford, but I'll try everything out and see what's the best deal I can get. But I've owned 2 Ford pickup trucks before, a F-150 and a F-350. I've owned a lot of vehicles over the years. Anya says, you never showed us your boat. I'll post a picture of it in the Discord, Anya. I had 2 boats. I had about a 18-foot ski boat was my first boat. And then, I don't know if I told you all the story when I was broke and just starting in the corporate world. I'm a big believer in having dream boards where you post your dreams so you can wake up every day and look at it. I posted pictures of big boats. I was probably making $10 an hour, $12 an hour. My very first entering the corporate world was like, one day I want to have a big fucking yacht. And I would spend my weekends. I'd drive out to the marina here and I would just walk. I'd just walk the marina and look at the boats. And I'm like, one day I'm going to have one of these. And I bought my first boat in what year was it? Maybe 95. Relatively inexpensive, not name brand. The brand was Invader. I think they're made by Brunswick. Just a basic ski boat. And then as things got better financially and in my career, a few years later, just a few years after that, I bought a 31-foot Sea Ray Sundancer, which was a 2-cabin with kitchen and bathroom. And that was a nice boat. I got my dream boat. And then of course you get a 31-foot boat. You want a 40-foot or a 50-foot, which is not really practical for a lake, which is all we have here. But people still do it. I never did end up buying something that big, but I shopped them, thought about it. But the Sea Ray was the one that I had, Anya. I have pictures of it. I'll post them. If I buy a boat again, I don't know if I would buy one. I might just join a boat club that has something like that, where everybody's kind of like sharing the ownership of it. So I don't have to absorb all of the maintenance and depreciation, just pay a monthly fee. Right now, boat is not high on my list. I mean, when I was doing that, I was single, was in my 20s. It was a perfect time to have a big boat.
I'll sell you mine.
The next thing that I'm going to buy is a piece of land and build the ranch house outside the damn city. Get away from this.
Say about a boat, right, Tony?
Huh?
You know what they say about a boat, right?
The best 2 days of boat ownership, the day you buy it and the day you sell it.
Well, they say that too, but you know what it stands for, right?
No.
Bust out another 1,000. Absolutely.
I only sold my Sea Ray Mediocre because, initially on my job I was not traveling, and every weekend we'd spend the entire weekend on the boat. We had air conditioning, we had heating, we had cable TV. If we were docked, if we were out anchored in a cove, we had the kitchen, we had a bathroom. You could easily spend, and we have restaurants on the lake. So spending the entire weekend out on the lake was not a problem. But then I started traveling with my job as I moved up, and I was gone 6 months out of every year. And I was probably spending just fixed cost, marina, boat payment, insurance, all that. I don't know, $2,000 a month. And like the accountant, I'm not a CPA, but the accountant side of me said, this is not a good expenditure of your cash, Tony. Why don't you think about buying another boat when you're not traveling 6 months out of every year? And so I sold it. I sold it right before the Twin Towers airplane incident. And I remember that because at that point, the economy was still doing really good. And I actually didn't take a hit in selling that boat Mediocre. I had people fighting over it, trying to outbid each other for my offer price, increasing. I'll pay more than that guy. I'll pay more than that guy.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good. That is not normal, guys. That is not normal. But that's how the economy was then. And then a couple weeks later, luxury money dried up. After 9/11, no, that would have never happened. So I was very fortunate timing on selling that thing.
I got a chaparral cuddy cabin. It just, I don't get to use it too much. It gets annoying.
Anya, if you see a picture of my boat, you're going to see a picture of a very young me, because I was literally in my 20s. All right. What other questions y'all got before the wife gets home? She says maybe a movie tomorrow. Oh, wait. Tomorrow's Halloween.
The perfect time for a movie, Tony.
We want to go see We Live in Time and what's that? Oh, Venom 3. That's our 2 movies planned for this week. Tomorrow, just so y'all know, tomorrow today I live stream IMAX earnings. Tomorrow we'll live stream Cinemark. And I'm expecting Highcroft earnings at, tomorrow or Friday. Probably tomorrow. Not many people release earnings on Friday, so. And then I'll do a quick recap of IMAX and Cinemark and Highcroft. Highcroft's just, they're doing the same old thing, hanging out, exploring. We should call Diane Garrett Dora Mediocre.
Dora the Explorer?
Dora Garrett.
Oh, boy.
But I'm not bearish on Highcroft. I'm just kind of like agnostic. I'm not bearish. I'm not bullish. It's all about patience and timing for Highcroft. Safety first, Anya says, right? They have an impeccable safety rating.
Yes, they do.
They will remind you of that constantly. Safety first. I love it. I should make a thumbnail, Anya, for my next Highcroft earnings review. Safety first.
These thumbnails been fire lately, Tony.
Wait till they hear the next songs we have planned, Mediocre. I got a song for you guys that I'm hoping to be able to release. And we're going to get a whole album going by the end of this year. But maybe on Wednesday if AMC does well. We'll see.
You could play mine for him if you want to, Tony.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you put it up on your screen? Because I don't have a copy of yours. Who is Yunhua asking? Oh, Manicio says if AMC goes to 40, I'm going to buy an AMC Matador. Is that the original AMC vehicle, like the old one from the 80s or 70s? Anya says, how do you make these song videos? We hire, Nicki Minaj, Britney Spears, whatever celebrity we can find that's down and out, Anya. No,
my channel.
Seriously, Anya, we write the lyrics ourselves, and we use AI to generate the song. 70s on the AMC Matador. Okay. Anya says I had an old 35-foot Catalina sailboat with my nephew. My dream, Anya, was to take my Sundancer from one of the Texas ports down to Bermuda or Puerto Rico, Cuba. Never did end up making that happen. But Anya, yeah, the songs are AI. The music is AI generated, but we write the lyrics ourselves. And then if there's video, we also have to do that ourselves. So it's about a 2-day effort to put out a music video song. And I'm talking like 2 full days. Mediocre wants to share his screen. All right, let's see. Go for it. I can't hear anything, Mediocre. Is it because I minimized your audio? Can y'all hear that? Mediocre, I can't hear anything. No audio. All right, I'm going to do it from mine.
Yeah, it won't. I don't know why it won't do it from here.
I'll do it. Hang on.
You got it.
Mediocre Trader. You can find this on his channel too. Go give him a view and a sub. If you're new here, he's doing his part to stay positive. Guys, I don't know if you've noticed, there's a lot of negativity in this community right now. We're just doing our part to try and be positive.
And funny. Comedic value. Good stuff.
Enjoy the comedic version of, the comedy piece of it too. All right, here we go.
It's not playing, Tony. We don't hear it.
Y'all don't hear that?
No. Why wouldn't it let you play off of YouTube?
Probably because I did the screen share not as a... Let me do it as a window. See if that helps.
Well, maybe that's why it didn't work for me either. That could be why.
How about now?
Nope. What is
still no audio?
No audio, yeah.
The frick?
We had this problem before. I forgot what we did to fix it. Something about allow desktop sound or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, all right. Well, let me try that. To share audio, share a tab or a screen instead. All right, entire screen.
With desktop audio or something like that. I think that we had this problem with something.
Also share system audio. All right, this should work.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yes, sir.
With every sequel, our resolve does grow. We're the meme stock legion, watch us grow. From Wall Street bets to the silver screen, we're the apes of legend in this scene. Cash is king and profits they draw near.
Cash is king, baby.
When the balance sheet's slick, it's crystal clear. With dollars in hand, we've got nothing to fear. In the game of finance, we're the ones to cheer. Cash is king, and profits they draw near. When the balance sheet's slick, it's crystal clear. With dollars in hand, we've got nothing to fear. In the game of finance, we're the ones to cheer. Apes in orbit with a mission grand. AMC's our spaceship, across the galaxy we stand. No bear can stop us, no shark can bind. To the moon we're heading, with the stars aligned. Elon's tweets, they might just be our fuel. With every like, our rocket's on a duel. We're not just watching, we're part of the lore. AMC saga, we're writing more and more. Every ticket sold, our rocket it fuels. We're not just apes, we're interstellar fools. In this vast cosmos, our legends untold. With every cinema trip,
our stories bold. Apes on a mission, stellar voyage in sight. With every reel rolling, our future's bright. Our sparks are comet, blazing through the night. To the moon we're soaring, with cinematic might. So here's to the apes in this galactic spree. With each blockbuster we're as free as can be. AMC to the moon, it's not just a dream. We're the cosmic legends in this financial theme.
Here's to the game.
Good job, Mediocre. I like that one. Very relaxing tune. And I like the optimism. I gotta see so much negativity, Mediocre, on a daily basis. It really wears you down, you know.
Just let them make money. They're gonna, let them do their thing. Keep growing the box office, keep getting people to the theaters, and it's gonna turn around. That's what I believe.
I am of a like-minded belief, Mediocre. You know what I always say, Mediocre? When the crybabies are yelling, when the crybabies, no, I say, what do I say? When the emotional ones are crying, that's when I'm buying.
That's it.
That's it. There's I have a couple phrases I'm working on.
Oh man.
When the emotional traders are crying, that's when I'm buying. Oh, AMC, this $4 are going bankrupt. They're gonna reverse split. It's going to $1.50. I'm like, cha-ching. Look, that's just me. My risk tolerance might be different than you. Do not fucking copy my trades. But the more negativity I see, if I understand the box office and the financials, I'm like, let's go. I'm buying. Not all the time. I mean, sometimes people that are negative are right. You got to understand the financials, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say, Mediocre?
I think that's a big part of it. Yeah, I do.
You can't just say negativity is always wrong. You got to do your own DD and understand it. But a lot of these people just deal with emotions. And if I know you're a person that has never looked at the financials and you're saying it's going to go bankrupt, then I don't believe you. Sorry. If you can show me where's your breakdown on the profit and loss? Show me that. Convince me. Then maybe I'll give you a little bit of credence. But if you just say, I've never had time to read a 10Q, but I know Adam Aaron did us dirty, I'm going to say you should have read the 10Q because they've told you since 2020 exactly what they were going to do. And everything they said they would do, they did do. So take some ownership, read the 10Qs, understand a balance sheet, read the risk factors, and then just trade smart. You guys want to play squeeze plays and not look at the financials? I do that all the time. But you can't play a squeeze play for 4 years without ever understanding the balance sheet. That's a recipe for disaster.
I'll never do that again.
Captain Caveman says, Tony, I'm in the Discord. I can only view the content on a desktop. Should be able to view it on any device, my friend. But feel free to send me a DM and we'll get you sorted if there's something I can help you figure out. Mediocre, you ready to wrap up? It's 10. Let's go 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, guys. Other questions? Preguntas?
Tell them to go watch this movie, Tony.
Go watch Smile 2. Go watch Piece by Piece with Pharrell. Go watch We Live in Time. Take your husband or wife or significant other out. By the way, Mediocre, can I say this? don't forget to go vote.
Yeah, don't forget to go vote.
Whatever, however you vote, I don't care. Same thing I always said about AMC. However you vote, I don't care. Just go vote.
America needs your vote.
Mediocre. It doesn't matter if Tony says he's not going to tell you how to vote. You know what he means. That's what they say now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what I heard. It doesn't matter. He said he's not going to tell you how to vote, but that doesn't matter because I know what he meant.
Who cares? Why does it matter your opinion, Tony?
Exactly. Nobody watches my channel anyways.
Get it.
But yes, we have a national election coming up. Please vote. Do your part. If you don't vote, I don't want to hear you complain for the next 4 years. At least if you vote, you have a valid reason to complain, however things work out. Go see a movie, Piece by Piece, Smile 2. We Live in Time, and if you like superhero movies, I guess, Venom 3. This is going to be a slow weekend for box office, so now's a good time to go see some movies. There's not any new releases. And then after this weekend's behind us, things start getting spicy. All the shills are going to come out on Monday, Mediocre. Oh, look at this box office. They didn't even make 40 million this weekend. This is horrible. What are they going to say, Mediocre? This is gross.
Oh, it's private.
You just wait. You just wait. It's going to be beautiful.
I just know it's private equity, Tony.
Private equity. All they want to do is lose all their money and go into bankruptcy on every deal they make, apparently, Mediocre.
Just connect the dots, man.
Hey, Mediocre, did you know I asked, my son's in college. He's getting his master's in accounting. I said, did you know there are people that have a theory that private equity wants to bankrupt every company they invest in? You know what he said? A college student. He said, Dad, that's not how it works.
Honey, did you see if there's any late movies or not?
There's no late movies after 9:30 tonight, Ben.
After what?
After 9:30, there's no late movies. It'll have to be tomorrow. All right, we're wrapping up. Give me a minute. He said, Mediocre, that's not how it works. A fucking college student understands private equity better than someone that's done 500 episodes on it.
I think that your son missed the Connect the Dots episodes, Tony.
My son could run circles around those dipshits.
Oh, God.
Let's just say, guys, private equity invests in speculative plays that they hope they can turn around. This is it in 3 sentences, maybe 5. They invest in speculative companies they think they can turn around. They come in there, they cut costs, they reorganize the financials. They do a lot of shit to fix a failing company. 1/3 of those they know are going to fail.
They want
1/3 of those will go bankrupt. That doesn't mean that they are coming in there to bankrupt the company. They already have built into their system. They know 1/3 of what they invest in will not make it. But you know what happens with the 2/3 that make it? They fucking make bank. That's private equity. No one in this country invests in companies to bankrupt all of them. That is the stupidest argument I've ever heard in my life. But if you want to focus on the 1/3 that go bankrupt, absolutely. They failed. But they know they're going to fail. I mean, they know that a percentage of them are going to fail. They don't know which ones are going to fail. They go in and give it a best effort, and some of them don't make it. But guess what? Private equity is doing just fine. It's a massive business. They're making billions of dollars. And it's not because they bankrupt every company. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Maybe I should start a private equity connect the dots series, Mediocre, with the actual facts. But
You know what you do with this, Tony? You lay this on the ground, and then when somebody picks it up because they think it's $100, and then they open it, and they.
got him! You got him!
You like that?
That is lovely. Where'd you get that shit?
They were here. Somebody gave it to me, but I collect shit like this. You know what I mean?
Anya says, "Is Citadel private equity?" No, Anya. Private equity. Look, private equity are companies that solicit private investors with a lot of money to pool their money together to go buy companies, which they hope to turn around. Now, if your business model was to go to the richest people in this country, say, give us $1 million, 10 million, 50 million, put it in this fund, and we're going to go find a company and buy it. Do you think that the richest people in the world would be investing in private equity if every deal resulted in bankruptcy?
I think they also go to like funds too.
Yes, they go to funds. No one would be investing in private equity if their purpose was to bankrupt every company. You guys have to realize how stupid that argument is. And there are channels that is the thesis of their channel, that private equity's purpose is to bankrupt companies. Totally ridiculous. No one would give them money. But the companies that do make it, they make ridiculous returns for themselves and their investors. Some don't make it. Some of the things they invest in don't make it. That's a fact.
The investors, like the funds, they don't make quite as much as, the others. There's a percentage that they give to.
They're hoping to make market-beating returns, Mediocre.
Exactly.
And you can't make market-beating returns if everything that your PE firm invests in goes bankrupt, right?
Well, that's the thing. They're not trying to go bankrupt, Tony.
I know. I mean, it's the most, I almost said the R word. I'm just going to use a different R word. It's the most ridiculous thesis I've ever heard. Connect those dots, bitches. All right, Mediocre. Let's wrap it up with that.
All right.
Just on a high note, let's go out with the GameStop song.
Let's do it.
Let me find it. Mediocre, while I'm pulling this up, go ahead and tell the folks how to find your channel.
Go to Mediocre Trader on YouTube. Subscribe. Check out my videos. There's some funny stuff in there you might like. Mediocre Trader 1 on Twitter. And have a good night. See you in the next video.
Up and to the right. Up and to the right. Up and to the right.
Hello, millionaires. Short screenplays where fortunes flip. GameStop's journey, an epic trip. From humble roots to the moon we fly. A company's dream will amplify. Ready warriors, keyboards in hand. With their eyes on the prize, they took a stand. No one's selling, we're here to fight. How does it go? Up and to the right. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. It stops on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, our asses in sight. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. GameStop's on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, more asses in sight. Hedge funds trembling, Kenny's in shock. GameStop stock, you'll never stop. From domination the retail army, we've already won. With every share, we'll never stop. Investors say, we love the stock. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. GameStop's on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right. Up and to the right. We're in for the ride. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right.
Surprise!
We're gonna win.